that hurdle. The only problem is that hurdle has gone from this to this. And as we dive in to the game, you'll see why. Envision Esports is what has heightened that up and now stands in their way. Fusion University trying to run it back, but taking on a team like Envision right now who are holding out. And we've seen this before, actually. They're just kind of holding out around the corner. Buds looking for that pick. Who are you? Are you going to fall for it? Not yet.
He's not going to fall for it. At the very least, as he said, not yet. It's interesting to see Envision with this 3-0-3 competition, whereas the other side here, for Fusion University, they played it well. They waited it out. However, I might have given Ori a little bit too much praise because Buds was still waiting in the back line, making sure he takes out the Tracer, and first point cap will go over to Envision.
And Envision, I mentioned this in their last play, you know, versus last night's leftovers and everything. This is a comp that they know how to run. They've played it a few times, and I wasn't going to be surprised if they actually did pull it out. And here it is, right off the bat, right out of the gates against Fusion University, who already did take on GOATs, but really struggled versus this composition, and Envision now trying to take advantage of just that.
We'll see whether or not Who Are You Now onto the Pharaoh is going to have a better time overall. Already looking to set his sights onto the likes of Lucio. Coming out of fire, he's going to find a kill onto himself, so it's just as important, just as big. Zachary finding a second one into Facility, who hasn't quite even found the damage, only at 33% towards that Graviton, as it's going to come through with these kills in favor of Fusion University. They should be able to, at the very least, eventually flip the point once we do see iShiny go down.
He will die off, but they still have little fire on the point as well. And finally, Fusion University does flip it. Oh, not just yet, but 60%, 61 on the board for Envision Esports as they start things off here on Ilios Ruins, to be exact. And Barrage ready for Who Are You? We saw him struggle a little bit with Barrages in his series against GOATs, and if he has a better performance, you know, a better outing with the Pharah, I think that he should be able to have, you know, a much better showing versus this 3-0-3 than what we saw a few days ago.
We'll see the Coalescence be the opener here, though, for Envision, as we do have the armor come out on top from Buds with the use of that rally. Self-destruct will be popped, though. A lot of ultimates still available for Fusion University, so as long as they contest the point, they should be able to make things happen, as they will find that one kill onto Facility, who has been denied throughout. And now, Who Are You going for the barrage? It's not going to be too successful. In the end, it's going to be Alarm coming out big. iShiny with a questionable Earth Shatter. Will not amount to much. Soundberry committed on top. Alarm did manage to stay alive with the use of that Transcendence. Zachary now popping that infrared side, but with these prolonged fights, we might just see at the very least the percentage be equalized here.
Well, still hang on these supports as well as Facility on the Pharah. Fire goes down, but soon you will see everybody else come back into this fight from Envision. They already have the point, so they have control now, and now they'll be able to push Fusion University off. That's a late stagger onto Who Are You, who just drops to his death. 73 now for Envision, and climbing. You see 98% for that Graviton. That could be it. I mean, if he finds value with this one, remember, with this composition, you don't need a full team wipe. All you need is, you know, maybe even just one kill, but certainly two will cut it. I mean, that will be it if you can find two with the Graviton.
Well, yes, Alarm has been able to find quite a bit of damage. It's going to be Zachary, the one to get a pick onto Fire, but the Graviton, as you said, picks up 4. Such a big one at that. Secure all those different kills. Nobody near the point for Fusion University, and Envision starting out strong on the Ilios.
Absolutely. I mean, starting out very strong on Ilios. We saw the Graviton come down, and that was such an important person to capture too, because Pharah was hovering low, had everybody, you know, in a proper position to unleash the barrage. Who Are You would have easily been able to kill off probably 2 people before dying off himself, likely. But by being gravitoned into the wall, by being yanked into that, and then having a bunch of people, you know, pulled in as well behind him, Envision was able to clean that one up quite effectively. And now we will see them bring out yet another Orisa comp, something that Envision does actually like playing quite a lot, especially as they get to be able to go for a counter dive type style to try to answer Fusion University, who often does run a dive setup, especially because of Beast Halo and Kraken Laken's proficiency with those 2 heroes and their coordination in the dive.
And I want to see this Widow v Widow matchup as Buds is going to look to contest Zachary on that particular hero already. Cracking Lakin with quite a bit of damage. Might lose his suit already, trying to go a little bit too deep. Will manage to stay in that baby diva form, and not only that, he actually got on top of that high ground, but with fire coming in, the Bloodthirsty Mercy will find the kill. It's going to be Buzz with a second, and now Envision yet again with the first point cap.
Ooh, and he slips away as well. Getting back over into position. We saw the res. Oh, iShiny in trouble. They do find the kill, but not before Zachary goes down, and so does Elk. Things are back and forth, but without a solid advantage, there's no way for them to get in there and be able to flip this. iShiny gets res back up. Buds finds yet another kill onto Alarm. And we'll see them have the time to now take a breath, compose themselves, and set up on the point, get into defensive positions, look to try to hold out against Zachary, who's working his way around the side right now.
And look at this, who are you? On that staple Genji will be going in, trying to find that particular pick onto someone like Buzz with the Widowmaker, who does have that infra sight now up and available, so we will be able to spot him out if he's gonna try to be that sneaky cyber ninja. But now, overall, it's still looking good for Envision as they have 50% already on the board.
Oh, Bud's in a great spot right now. They're gonna have to force a dive onto him to be able to de-nest the Widow. Who are you? Diving forward right onto Crimzo, gets yanked back. McGravy's there as well.
Ooh, Crimson does go down though, and he didn't manage to use that Transcendence, and now that we do see the Resurrect come through, Alex says, once more, who are you? You will fight back. We'll look to charge up that blade. It's gonna be only 62% towards said ultimate, and since they didn't quite find any other kills, it's still Envision on this point.
Invisibility is still holding onto this barrage. He's actually kind of sneaking his way around, looking for Zachary. Doesn't even need it. What a way to get him off the second. Beast Halo takes him down, but the damage might have already been dealt.
And it's now with 88%, yes, we will see the rest of Fusion University look to go back towards the point, but this might be a one final desperate attempt. The Resurrected was here. Alarm goes down, and with Elk to follow too, no supports here for Fusion University. They do get the cap, but who are you denied by the barrage? Only Beast Halo and Zachary left. Soon, maybe Alarm, but this might just be it. Envision will get the point back in their favor, and it's looking like they might just get a Swift 2-0 and on control of all maps.
And that's actually an interesting point that you bring up. That's very important here because Envision historically has never really been that solid on control maps. They've always struggled on King of the Hill. It's always been something that they've struggled with, but maybe they can win this one out here. They still have to stick this one out. Beast Halo working his way in. They take out Facility, but these tanks are still very low. They have to find some way in to deal with them, as Buzz on the Widowmaker won't be able to do that. So they're actually going to get their resets more than likely. They might be safe. There's the flip yet again as Bud's coming back in, has the Infrasight. Now it's just about trying to get these kills. Facility will come back in as well, and due to the fact that they're only having Elk up, he's on a Lucio, they're not gonna have the healing. They're not gonna be safe here.
That was the trade I would definitely look to go for if you're Envision, but now who are you? Did manage to find at the very least one kill, so if he stays alive, it's not gonna happen. Fire will be at the ready with that Mercy. Will claim a kill, and now as we will see Beast Halo fall to one potential last desperate attempt. Overtime will take out Zachary is there, but this is gonna potentially be it already. We'll see Envision potentially winning out on Ilios.
Well, Fusion University is still hanging on. They were able to stall just long enough. I mean, that's the thing about this composition. They can't approach. Fusion University has to set the pace, and it's up to Envision to ward them off with this counter dive. There's the Transcendence. Did lose Buds, but here it comes. Beast Halo knocking them around. There's Facility jumping into his face, and he dies off with some help. Oh, who are you?
Oh.
Where are you is a better question as he falls off the map with this blade.
Not like this. We'll see him die. Sound barrier now still available for those Zachary, the one to pop up on that Tracer. So it seems like it's still not going to matter. Fusion University in control for now, but that's the big question. It's still for now, but for how long?
They're coming back in. They have Crimzo at 70% already again. Whole Hog at 95. I mean, they have a couple of things here to work with, especially as they know Who Are You pulled the blade out. Maybe they don't. I don't know. I mean, he fell off quick.
We'll see, though. base sale already to be taken out. Buzz coming on this Brigitte, definitely working wonders for Envision. Now McGravy looking to take the potential backline out with these. The whole hog will have a timeout. It's going to be Envision with the kills. 2 on the board. Yes, they did lose the supercharger, but that's pretty much it. Point flip back into their favor. B-Cell jumping right back in, but with that jump being on cooldown, McGravy finds the hook.
So I think what's so impressive is their ability to stall things out for, almost forever. I mean, Envision would be at something like 250% if they were able to continue accruing a score past 99% without winning. But finally, they do take it. About a minute after you said it before that they were going to, but there they get it, 2-0, as Envision takes the first map, and a big one at that, as it is Control. Envision typically looking better on these on this middle pack of maps. Eichenwald, Anubis, Route 66 is where you'll see them probably improve typically, but already taking the Control, and especially in such a dominant fashion, this is going to be a tough one to climb back into for Fusion University.
And as we said, that was the biggest point here. This is the type of map where we expected Fusion University to take the lead, but it's not going to be the case. In the end, it's Envision with the win and coming up on Eichenwald. How can a Fusion University turn it around, considering the fact that right now they seem to be defaulting to you know, those type of picks, those type of heroes that they're more comfortable with?
Yeah.
And it really is getting heavily punished by Envision.
And we saw that, how they decided, you know, at some point where they were just like, let's just go back to what we're comfortable with. And Envision is very comfortable with what they're comfortable with now. They've had a lot of time to work on this. They've had a lot of time losing to Fusion University as well. This Academy team has done so much with that dive comp, although now there are so many ways to deal with it, and Envision has a stockade of ways to deal with it at this stage. We even saw some anti-dive compositions come out, or rather one come out onto Well. I expect some of that to come out onto Eichenwald. I expect even more 303 because Envision can run it, and they know it's a problem for Fusion University.
We'll see how Fusion University can adapt as we will be moving on to Eichenwald. Envision up 1-0, and is this where we see Fusion drop 0-3?
I don't know about that. I mean, it's still very possible that Fusion University can climb back into this one. I don't know about getting their start here on Eichenwald because they're really going to have to lean on Who Are You's Pharah if they want to get this done in this way. I mean, yes, he can play the Genji on this map. Yes, it's very strong on this map, especially in those first two stages, even if you have momentum pushing into the third. So it's possible they pull the Genji out, but I think for the most part, they're going to lean on the Pharah. They might play a Hanzo, maybe. We haven't seen too much of that from Who Are You. But if we do see that, expect Buds to go on McCree. It's something that we've already seen them answer with before. If they go over to a dive, they have Brigitte. They have anti-dive setups. They have answers in store. I don't think that they get the win here. However, we'll have to see if Fusion University can surprise us. And here it is. One surprise is going to be the double sniper from Fusion University. Envision Esports with another Orisa comp, and it will be Buds actually starting things off on the McCree.
It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to pay off, because on the other end, it's going to be Who Are You? As you said, you haven't seen too much on Hanzo, well, already being an impact. As he finds one, we'll see Aishani fall too, and we'll have Fusion University with a solid start for their defense.
So they res McGravy back up, but can't do much without a barrier, buddy. He goes right back down. And Who Are You?
Oh.
Well, where are you? He's on the kill feed now. He was diving off of Ilios a couple minutes ago. Returning back now in form. Envision setting back up over the top. Oh, an opportunity for Zachary. Unfortunately, just barely missed there. Fusion University behind this barrier, really laying into Aishani. These tanks have had a really tough go of it for Envision so far in this matchup. And there goes Fire too during the res. I mean, Fusion University, a brick wall right now.
And if you give Alarm those sidelines, he's gonna find them already at 80% towards that Transcendence. I mean, talk about dishing damage on that support. It's gonna be a very important factor in terms of making sure his team will be staying alive throughout the next team fight as well, even if we see a potential pick come through. But so far, looking really, really good for Fusion University.
They have great vision now during this infra sight. Coming back around the corner, though, we're seeing Aishani set the barrier up, but that gets drilled down so fast already. And McGravy taking a lot of heat. I mean, this barrier just doesn't last long enough for them to set up and try to get some picks, so it's really going to come down to Facility's ability to open things up for them, and it's just not going to work out, as without that Orisa, they're still at a disadvantage. They need the res, or they need Aishani to come back, and now it's just a waiting game.
Well, at the very least, no Resurrects did come through, unable to find an angle on each side. Zachary is going to be able to get a kill onto Crimzo, as so will Alarm too, onto Buds, and now with Crimzo back in, yes, they do have 4 ultimates to work with, but not the rest of their members in an ideal position, and they get pushed back. They will even make a few adjustments, so now Buds again on that Widowmaker.
This might be a better opportunity for them to try to find some picks here. Oh, Fire, you gotta watch out, Bud. Keep that head down. And Zachary does find the pick again onto Aishani. Aishani having such a rough game. Kraken does go down. Yet another pick from Zachary. These Widows popping off on both sides, but that's not good for Envision on their attack. But there's the hook. McGravy might have opened things up for them.
And that was a big thing,
again!
But Aishani not having any fun on Eichenwald. Will see Facility pop that Rocket Bar, secure at the very least 1 kill onto Who Are You, so Beast Halo back in, but gets hooked up. McGravy, can he be the one to turn it around? No, it doesn't seem like it, as we did see Fire stay alive up high. It's not gonna amount to anything. Zachary coming up on that kill feed with the Widowmaker will be looking good, and now only 44 seconds left for Envision.
You have to wonder if maybe swapping to a dive or something like that might be better for them. Yes, they have to deal with Hog Orisa, but you know, being able to put some pressure. Oh! Being able to put some pressure onto these snipers is probably their only way in at this stage, because that's been the struggle. You can't even get anybody in because every few seconds it's another pick for Fusion University.
And they do still have that Transcendence available for Crimson, so it's not over just yet, of course. Even with 13 seconds on the board, if they find their way in an advantageous position, maybe they can squeeze this one and make sure they get the pillar rolling. It has to be off of Buzz, who does get that first kill onto BCL. It gets brought back up. Facility answering with one of his own, so maybe we do see Envision finally finding said work. But Zachary into backfights too, still popping
Are you
off.
kidding me?
Zachary with the big plays, but McGravy still coming out on top in the end. It's 3 versus 2 on the point.
Well, Elk is still alive, keeping them up. Beast Halo jumping onto iShiny. Supercharger down.
Oh.
They might be able to take these takes out. And it's Kraken Lacken, the one holding on to the self-destruct, should he need it. Envision, I said that they weren't going to be able to take this one. Maybe they'll be at least able to take this first point, as Kraken Lacken is staying alive long enough for the rest of his team to possibly catch back up. Elk is somehow still sustaining on this point, and it's just the Lucio now. And I think that might be it. Envision, I don't think that they're gonna be able to do this. Overtime ticks. They don't even secure the first point. Fusion University, with one of the best double snipers in this whole tournament, they're able to defend first point.
Wow, I mean, who are you popping off? And then Zachary going in the backline, just making sure he has an absolute field day, lining up those shots, gets kill after kill, and
Are you kidding me?
saves his team in the end.
I
And
gotta fan myself off. I gotta fan him off because he's on fire right now, and I'm just sweaty. And we will see them attacking now. I mean, honestly, at this stage, with how he's performing, it really, I don't even care what they come out with, right? I mean, they could come out with anything. I think they'll find a way to get that 91.3%. And they should be able to close this one out. However, Envision is a pretty solid Orisa, based team. When they pull out these types of compositions, they can be quite good at them. Fusion University expected to run a dive. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, especially considering the fact that they only need to unlock this first point, and they don't even need to really get it all the way. I mean, we're talking 91.3%. Very close, yes, but they have a little bit of room, and they don't have to go anywhere after that, obviously. Visibility coming out, first of all, onto this Pharah. That's a pick opportunity. Someone that isn't behind the barrier. That's something that Fusion University really utilized in their favor, is that every time a barrier came down from Shiny, it got ripped down, he wasn't able to do anything. And I have to wonder, actually, why Envision didn't try something else. I mean, clearly the tank lineup wasn't really working for them. Maybe try a Diva if you really want to try the Orisa. Maybe try, a dive to allow your DPS time to actually set up some kills, put some pressure onto those snipers. Try maybe pulling out a Trace or something. A Genji, something. But nonetheless, we didn't see that. They don't capture the first point.
And look at this coming out of Fusion University. It's going to be Zachary potentially on that Sombra. So something we haven't seen pretty much at all. Never mind. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. Zachary, why wouldn't he be on the Widowmaker, right? Why wouldn't
Especially against a Pharah. And I said that this is going to be something, with the Pharah pick, that could be a pick opportunity for them because it's someone that isn't behind the barrier. And here they go, diving in. Beast Halo setting up. Who are you? Setting up as well. They're getting into position now. So far, I don't think they know exactly where Who Are You is.
I don't think they spotted him, but Buzz did find Zachary in the end. Will be brought back up with use of that Resurrect, so not too much loss there for the attacking side of Fusion University. And as we will see, potentially Who Are You still looking for those angles. We'll look for that bear in the sky as he gets him in the end. Buzz does retaliate and gets pushed off of that high ground though. Not going to be behind cover, but he still manages to find another kill.
Oh, Buzz gets away. He has the Inversight. They've not yet lost that first hit. Crimzo in trouble, but yanked back. iShiny being able to play the game finally in this series. Does manage to save his teammate. That Zenyatta staying alive here. Zachary looking to re-engage, but Alarm's dead, man. You need to pull out, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Ooh, forces that recall to Facility, now putting him in a really tough position. However, he did have those blink charges and will manage to stay alive for now. But that was a very nice defense coming in by Envision. No 6 on the board for Fusion University. The Blade is at the ready, but Crimzo could be able to answer already, forcing that recall out of Zach. It's going to be good. Valkyrie will be popped by Elk. And things should be looking good for the defensive side, but a Blade is going to come out looking for the targets. Gets one, can he get more? Who Are You? Still relentless, still on the prowl. Facility to be next, does get the D-suit. And as Who Are You doesn't find anything else, we do see Envision potentially come out on top again.
Well, Facility gets brought back up, and we will see them hold on here. Alarm should pull back. Zachary will as well, and they've already lost more than half of their time and have nothing to show for it just yet. The Blade is down, but they do have Transcendence. They do have, you know, their tanks coming online with their respective ultimates. Pulse Bomb is going to be coming up as well, so maybe they can sustain long enough to allow Who Are You to, you know, start diving through, finding some picks, putting some pressure out, getting his Blade ready should it be necessary to close this one out.
We'll see how they're going to want to approach this one, because Facility close enough should have that ultimate charged up, but it's going to be Crimson with a kill onto B-Sail. Alarm gets found by Bud too, who, like, did come back onto that. Han's already close to that Dragon Strike, and things are looking very grim right now, potentially for Fusion University.
We'll have to see. Oh, they actually do wind up spotting out Zachary, who's forced into that closer to the spawn point where Who Are You is actually set up there as well. So they're just going to leave him. They're going to take note of it, and they're going to make sure that they watch that corner. They have Buds throwing out some Sonic arrows just to kind of keep an eye on that kind of thing. You can see it just happened right there. And the Dragon Strike does come out right away as the dive comes out through. Oh, the Pulse Bomb got eaten up, and Facility already took out one, and Crimzo does go down, but it's still everything in favor of Envision.
As Facility picks up a double kill off of the Pharah, now setting his sights onto B-Salo. In the meantime, though, Who Are You alongside Alarm will look for those kills, gets a double kill, and Who Are You keep it up. Looking for Eye Shiny, will look to charge up that Blade too, already at 77%. Doesn't get anything just yet, finally does so, and it might have just bought enough time for the rest of his team to come back. McGravy, the final member, to the point. Who Are You really trying his best to get the kills time and time again. Gets a double swipe right there as Buds tried to come back in, and Fusion University do it in the end, but that took some heroics out of them too.
I mean, we're talking about going down to the wire. They had about 1 second left when that Blade came out, and you see Who Are You with that humongous brain. He turns around with the Blade, and I'll even show you right here when he comes back over. He takes him out. Great tracking to be able to kind of go through. He turns around because he sees Sombra goes out. He expects that the translocator, we're gonna see the Sombra relocate, and he actually has the dash ready to go, but he notices quickly that it's not actually the case. It was almost like a fake out that Sombra wanted to throw out there. Turns around, whips him down, and then goes ahead and comes out, takes out everybody else, and they're able to secure the point. So great stuff from Who Are You, again, being the savior that they need. You think about flashbacks of, Season 2. Who Are You on point A of Eichenwald attack and defense actually is something to look out for sure. And they somehow are able to take Eichenwald off of a kind of janky attack actually from Envision and a stellar defense from Fusion University.
And as we'll be moving on to the assault map, interestingly enough, when we're talking about this matchup before the series actually started, you thought Fusion University will have a really good shot to win out on Anubis. So we'll find out if that is going to be the case soon enough. Well, we now know one thing for sure. Who are you? Is definitely wide awake now.
Absolutely. I mean, a couple of mishaps for him on Ilios starting things off, but moving over to Eichenwald, not only who are you, but Zachary both woke up together as a combined duo unit, now looking as good as we really kind of expect from them, I think, at this stage. But double sniper, bringing out the Genji again. And I really kind of want to see more of that Genji here. The reason why, you mentioned it before the break, the reason why I think that this might be a shot here, a decent shot for Fusion University, is based off the merits of their dive. And this is a map that on point A, if you get some momentum, you can really surge forward to point B, just as pretty much any 2CP map. And with the Blade, you can have a tremendous impact, I think. So off the merits of their dive alone, Fusion University has a pretty solid shot here. However, Envision should be able to see that coming, should be able to see a counter dive composition coming out from them based off the Orisa. And on top of that, Envision has done a lot of work in their time, scrimming together over the past few weeks and months, working on their dive attack as well. And we saw basically the results of that in their last time out on Anubis, where iShiny like unleashed. They opened the doors and he just came out as savage right out of the gates. And that's the kind of turnaround we need from a guy like iShiny, who really didn't have a great performance on his attack on Eichenwald. Now needs to turn it back around and kind of rekindle that flame that he had on Anubis the last time around.
And another interesting fact is, now we know how deadly Fusion University can really be on that double sniper setup as well, which could be coming out to start it off. But it's going to be Envision on defense, Anubis first point. We'll have Visibility alongside Buzz on those double DPS, but again, that Orisa for iShiny when it comes to defense. And interestingly enough, Who Are You will stick to the Genji, but Zachary will be the one to pick up that Hanzo.
All right, Genji to contest the high ground, should it be necessary. If Buds falls back to that. They still have that kind of anti-dive, though. You see Beast Halo taking all that pressure with his head turned right now, trying to get away from those headshots that Buds can throw out that he's known for on the Widow.
And while they, at the very least, managed to survive throughout here for Fusion University, there's a lot of ultimates slowly being charged up in favor of the defense, especially with the Facility. Finding a kill onto Zachary, he will be brought back up. So outside of that resource being unavailable for Fusion University, it's not going to amount to too much for now, but with this aggressive positioning far forward coming out of the defense here, they're going to find another onto Who Are You. Kraken Lycan does answer, but Shiny will go down, so Fusion University opening up the point.
And Buds is real low, fire drops as well. There's really no chance, I don't think. Visibility offers up at least something in return, but the Riptire just doesn't fight enough, I think, for them at all. Gravy allowing them an opportunity to reset, make some swaps as necessary, and this is where you see the Sombra come out from Envision. Fusion University, they have that opportunity here onto point B. Can Envision put a stop to the momentum off the back of this dive from Fusion University?
And I want to see Buds be on point when it comes to hacking Who Are You once he pulls out that Blade, because I think that's the way you're going to make us a great stop. Just shutting out that potential engage or even disengage if necessary with the dash will be good for them. However, Alarm is also going to be at the ready with that Transcendence. Will manage to keep the rest of his team safe as Zachary is going to drop pretty low, but Crimso will look to answer instantly with a Transcendence of his own.
It's a great answer to what could have been a very deadly Blade. Beast Halo coming back in, though. They already lost fire. They lost iShiny as well. Fusion University not out just yet as they eliminate Buds, take out the EMP for now, and away from the point. D.Va won't be able to make a re-entry. McGravy dying off. Here comes the res, but can they take out Mercy? No, they can't. Fire finds a way on. Look, it's 100%, and they don't have the cap yet. They're hanging on. If they're somehow able to win this fight,
no way.
Which it doesn't look like they are, but if somehow they could eke this defense out and put a stop to Fusion University, 100%. I've never seen that.
I mean, the Dragon Strike is still at the ready, though, for Zachary, and as Who Are You still managing to find a kill. He's going to have another Blade soon enough, and that should surely shut this thing down, as we'll see one final member left on the point. Facility forces that recall will be taken out, and we do see Fusion University take it in the end.
Running that dive once again, Zachary showing his versatility, moving over to the Hanzo, and Once again, who are you on the Genji? I mean, at this point, that's what we expect on attack, a Genji, you know, especially on maps where he can take advantage of, you know, high ground and jumping up and isolating targets where he can take one-on-ones. That's where he really shines, I think. And I think that's the situations that they're trying to thrust Who Are You into now in order to try to get back into this series. And they have done just that. 5:04, solid time to work with. And now we'll see Zachary back onto the Widow. If I'm Envision, I'm scared. But they should be able to, you know, find a way to deal with this. You know, what we'll likely see here is Fusion University set up probably, I mean, they don't have a way to get up onto that, you know, back high ground with the Mei, so they're going to be instead onto Plat, right? What Envision is going to want to do is they're going to want to jump onto Plat, push them back. That same, you know, soft dive setup that we talked about with, you know, basically throughout this entire tournament with a lot of these dive setups into Anubis. Then they want to pull back, and then they want to full engage onto the Widow, or just for some reason have Buds or Facility, or probably both of them, work their way up and take Zachary down. They have the advantage. Then they can kind of surge the point, take that momentum, and snowball it from there. And then you'll see the exact same thing on point B, where Facility hopefully holds onto the blade. But everything has to work out just that way, or else this will fall apart. Fusion University with a composition that could very well answer the dive comp if Envision isn't careful. So you're going to have to, I mean, it's really going to fall on Bud's ability to get in position, and then for iShiny to get up there and not get taken out, as he has a couple of times now in some of these setups.
Already looking to span out the damage. It's going to be Who Are You on that Junkrat. We've seen how fast it can really charge up those rip tires in the past. Of course, with those trap setups being spotted out at the very least for now, it's not going to be a problem, but we'll see iShiny looking to dive right in, instantly gets booped off. And Zachary uncontested means that he will find that kill onto Butts. The Resurrect will be there, but kill still coming in for Fusion University.
Yeah, they lost one of their flankers there. I mean, Who Are You on this Junkrat as well? I mean, it's the exact same thing that you see out of Fusion University with their dive. It's just how teams play the dive, but we see Fusion University hanging on to their positioning, not forced down to the point just yet to contest there. And it's going to be a struggle now for these flankers, for Envision to set back up, especially as they're going to lose iShiny yet again.
Zachary most definitely on point on that Widowmaker. Will look to push him away with that infra side, spots him out, and even with Facility having that blade, he's not going to be able to pull it out, gets taken out. And now Envision, once more, looking much weaker on a map like Anubis.
And iShiny, who has almost only good days. I don't know if I've ever seen a bad day. Is unfortunately for Envision having a bad day now. I mean, this is just not worked out in his favor so far. Fusion University have his number, and he's going to dive back in, jumping in with McGravy. You see the blade ready for Facility. They have the Transcendence. McGravy loses his mech though, and I don't know, Facility, he's going to lose his life as well as he gets trapped. Who Are You? Outsmarted him that time.
That's just right into the trap. Unfortunate. If that trap wasn't there, we might have just seen the blade and a potential teamfight win coming in here for Envision, but it's not over just yet. Buds will be taken out, however. Crimson finds Zachary in the end, so this long-winded fight might still slowly turn things around for Envision.
Well, they're getting ultimates now. They really don't want to use too much here. You know, they really want that momentum going into point B, but they're going to have to use something. Envision once again. Headshot. Zachary finding yet another. And they will stave off that attack off the back of two clean headshots from the Widow. Crimzo to fall as well. And Fusion University looking poised to not only take this map, but to full hold Envision on point A.
We'll see Buds look to contest him on that Widowmaker deal, but with the positioning, with the fact that infra side is at the ready for Zachary, just can't see how he's going to be able to pull that one off. Going to take some heroic plays, some very nice shots, and so far Facility was also unable to be any impact on this attacking round.
All right, this is it. Buds on that Widowmaker, gonna put some pressure as they dive in. forcing them back. There's the self-destruct dropping, and actually that's the Primal Rage Q as well. Visility still hanging on to that blade, doesn't want to use it. They want it for point B, and they have the kills now on the board. They're gonna use it anyways. Jumping up, he doesn't have the dash anymore, so he's not even really gonna get value out of this. They still should be able to clean up. I mean, they have the ability to jump up to Beast Halo. They have, with that dive, the mobility necessary, and the Junkrat tire coming out from Who Are You, just trying to take a last-second kill if they can. Should be killed off, but what do you know, it does kill off by Shiny. There's the res, though. We'll have to see if they do wind up making some swaps here. Visility at 10% towards his blade, and that's Who Are You to combat him. Genji versus Genji against Who Are You. That's a rough one.
At the very least, you will have Crimso's Transcendence, so a slight potential ledge. However, Elk will look to answer with a Valkyrie, making sure he keeps the rest of his team alive long enough for Alarm to even build up a Transcendence of his own, as we will see no angles being really obtainable right now for Envision. I was about to say things will be looking not as good, but Bud finds Alarm, so still looking to be just as effective on that Widowmaker himself.
Well, there's a Transcendence that came out from Crimso. It's answered by Alarm, but they can't keep Who Are You alive against the Widowmaker. The pressure, the instantaneous damage that sniper provides. It's gonna be the self-destruct ready for McGravy as he's under pressure. Kraken Lacken going up against him, and it will likely be... Oh, he finds iShiny, somehow sneaked that kill out, and he does get res back up, but they've lost Visility, and he's at 87% towards Blade. That could have possibly been the answer for them to be able to close this out, but not going to be the case, and now it's Buds taking heat from these Shurikens. Who Are You looking for that kill? Has the blade ready yet again.
Oh, and that was so unfortunate for Envision. If iShiny managed to stay alive, their Visility at that, as you said, having that blade at the ready could have been the thing to turn it around. However, it's going to be Who Are You who got the kill in the end. We'll have that blade. We'll see how effective he can really be. Already Zachary on it. That Brigitte will look to keep the rest of his team alive. It will be also the Transcendence committed Visility. Don't want to go down. Who Are You with the blade finding even another kill onto Buzz. The DPS of Envision going down. Soon enough, the supports, only the tanks left alive. And with that, Envision now down to 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
Not a lot of time. Now they swap to the 303, I have to imagine. I'm actually surprised they didn't go for that earlier. They've been really stuck in a couple of ruts, actually. And they have been not really swapping too quickly. They've been trying to force things out pretty much throughout this. You know, you obviously can look back at Eichenwald, point A attack for them. But now they swap things up, go to the 303. You have to wonder why they didn't do this on Eichenwald. But nonetheless, here it is.
We'll see with the instant double exploding comp coming in for Fusion University. They'll find the kills they need. They'll find the ultimates being charged up. Didn't even have to use anything for themselves. And with this slow, rather dry push coming out of Envision, now they're going to be only with 1 minute and 25 seconds left for their attack.
Crimso pretty close to a coalescence. They also have the self-destruct, but that's it, and that's just not enough. It's just simply not enough against Fusion University and what they have available to them, especially with that Riptire coming out now. Who Are You very, very close to a barrage. Zachary throwing it out, does manage to find Buds, who doesn't shield up in time, or possibly just didn't have it. Not sure exactly which one it was. Either way, though, it's Fusion University getting very aggressive with this explosives comp.
And with this far forward positioning as well, it's gonna just deny that much more distance to be covered by Envision, considering there's only real mode of advancing is through that speed boost, which does get taken out fire out of the picture. We'll see Who Are You with a quick double as well off of the barrage. Yes, we do have a few members on the point for Envision, but it's not really gonna be amounting to anything. They're gonna be going down. They're gonna go for the reset. One final attempt potentially coming in here for Envision.
73% towards the grab, just not close enough. 58% towards the Earth Shatter. Again, just not close enough. Not gonna have the sound barrier for sustain. It's gonna be a tough one here. They have the ability to possibly find an early kill onto Zachary, and if they can do that, they might be able to get something going, but that's a good start at least for them. Beast Halo gets taken down, but unfortunately they've lost their Graviton, and they don't have a res. It's gonna be Fusion University looking to clean things up. Here comes the Riptire over the top, looking for iShiny. He does manage to stay away from it this time, but they just need more ultimates here. They have the Earth Shatter ready. Can he lay them down? It goes down. He gets pushed off the point, though.
Oh, and now with Alarm coming in with the Transcendence, 2-6 did.
Graviton's coming in.
Graviton will come back in, but only finds one. Not quite the targets you were looking for, but kills are still favoring Envision. So they're not going to be down and out just yet. But who are you? Looking to get one, get free in the end with a triple on that Pharah. Finds a fourth. Who are you with the quad? Will secure the win on Anubis for Fusion University.
Who are you closing things out twice now? First on the Genji, then onto the Pharah. They take it. And in a big way, too. I mean, completely halting Envision, who typically, you know, they look a lot better on these types of maps, just falling flat in all of their attacks against Fusion University, who have just found the answer. I mean, they look much more comfortable, especially in their defenses. You know, even their attack looked very solid. Who Are You has been a massive threat. He was silenced on Ilios, but now has bounced back in a very big way, and so has Zachary. On top of that, their supports are staying alive, their tanks are staying alive. Everything's working out for them, and they're able to shut down iShiny. And without iShiny to lead the charge, you know, the captain of Envision, if you remove that guy from the equation, who's left? I mean, who's left to just call out their engages? Who's left to push the front end into the fight? There's nobody. I mean, you can't rely on just a diva to do that, and to not have that caller there as well, a massive detriment to a lot of these attacks for Envision. And unfortunately, they just didn't adapt quick enough, I think. You know, we didn't see those, you know, adjustments being made mid-match, mid-attack. They just kept throwing themselves at it over and over again.
And more unfortunately for them, they are now down 2-1. We will be going over to a commercial break, but once we're back, we'll see if they can still equalize the series. It's match point for Fusion University and potentially Envision, the one to go out.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be the case, and I expect now Envision actually take out the 303, man. I mean, pull that out. Hope that on first point they don't have your number already, and hope that they don't bring out Farah Junkrat, something like that. Pray that they're running a Widowmaker and just straight up like a static Orisa setup or something like that on defense, right over the top of Earl, so that you can just push in the point, play for control, and take it there. But this is still going to be, I imagine, a lot of swaps from both sides, a lot of chess matching, a lot of mind games going on with the compositions. This is still going to be a really, really back and forth map, I think. I thought that Envision was going to be able to come out on top, although already it seems like Fusion University has not only figured things out in this meta, but also figured things out in this series, and now they have the lead 2-1 going into match point for their side.
So double sniper on both sides going to be matching up. It's going to be Zachary with the first kill though onto Facility Fire, almost dropping, going in for that res. Will be able to bring Facility back up, but you expected this double sniper setup coming out of Fusion University. We said how Envision could have potentially looked better with a 303. It wasn't the case, but now that they do run that payload closer to that big Earls, we'll see some pot shots being taken. Bud's looking for an angle himself. He's gonna hit one onto Zachary, but overall the advantage should be on the defensive side.
Oh, that's a good hook, actually, taking Krakenlaken out of his mech. McGravy trying to stay alive, has a lot of pressure out on him. Crimzo gonna be healed up, so is Buds, and it's gonna be actually a fantastic first showing from Envision, despite getting picked off early off the back of McGravy, landing some critical hooks, getting some pivotal picks in this fight. They should be able to get this one here, and Facility eliminating Who Are You is the period on the end of that statement. Buds as well winning out in his fight on the sniper. Zachary finally getting silenced at least a little bit, and now Envision pushing forward as well.
I mean, I like how Zachary and Buzz pretty much were in an agreement. They're like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and do our 1v1 Budo duel while the rest of our team is just duking it out. That's fine, that seems reasonable, but now they do have the payload on the move. Envision looking pretty strong, looking to set up towards that second point. They will have a lot of ultimates up their sleeves, so things should be looking good, and now the full-on dive coming in from Fusion University.
The issue with this is that, with the amount of time that's... Oh, that was actually a nice little yoink there. Krakenlaken already going to lose his mech. He's also going to be into that Dragon Strike. He won't lose his life just yet. In fact, it's Who Are You coming alive for Fusion University, looking for the Mercy in the back, finds that one as well. How in the heck is Who Are You able to pull this off?
Again, just like that. It's a triple for him. Why not? 53% towards that blade. Zachary also popping off on the Tracer himself. So, well, yes, who are you with the more flashy plays? Zachary pumping in that consistent DPS was also really important. And now Buds will be popping that infra side, looking for that intel in terms of that positioning for his team. But that bought quite a bit of time here for Fusion University.
That's super important too, because with this dive composition, they're not going to contest as much. They really have to pick their battles very specifically. I mean, they have to take specific fights. McGravy coming back over to protect his backline. Ooh, just misses that hook there. Still in favor of Envision, but with Crimzo down, McGravy very low. Facility gets drilled down by Kraken Lacken, and it's going to be once again Fusion University looking to shift the momentum and take this fight. Here's the blade to do just that, and McGravy yet again canceling out another DPS player as Fire is staying alive. Crimzo will be coming back into this fight, provide some healing aside from the passive that Fire does get. And again, Crimzo has been removed from this fight.
Look at that, iShiny finally will be going down. He was on that payload, look to build up a little bit of more distance, but as the member advantage will be still on his side for Envision, things might be looking good. But who are you coming back in? We'll look to build up towards another blade. It's gonna be McGravy, the one to fall. Yes, we do have Crimzo off and available with that Transcendence, but as we'll see them get pushed back, it's gonna be Alarm with the double kill on those DPS members. Does have that Transcendence, and now we'll be running down to 2 minutes and 36 seconds for Envision.
Zachary with Pulse Bomb Alarm, Transcendence, Crimzo Transcendence, a swap being made by Buds over to the Brigitte. I think that's a good swap for them to be able to answer Zachary and who are you, especially as this blade comes on. And, you know, even though he's at 40%, expect him to get that up quickly, but not if he gets taken down immediately. That was their first target. Pulse Bomb goes out. Can it claim a kill? Yes, it can, and it's onto a Mercy.
And that was very important because now the Resurrect cannot come through. It was looking good for Envision, but now in an instant, turning things around. Alarm finding a kill onto McGravy. We'll see Zachary stay alive even though Buds did try to hunt him down. Alarm again with the double kill for himself. We'll see iShiny die in the end, and with a much better second point defense. Fusion University, yes, they default back to the dive, but working wonders on Route 66.
Yeah, they do this. They default back to their standard dive setup, and it's amazing just how well it still works. You know, even given the fact that it's a tough composition to run right now with Brigitte back in, you know, not back, but actually just being introduced, and they're still looking so good with it. I mean, Envision, once again, kind of looking a little disconnected.
Kill after kill, it's only going to be Beast Halo going down for Fusion University. As we said, definitely looking very disconnected right now, as not only did they lose the fight, but look at that. Fusion University with 6 ultimates ready to go. Only 60 seconds now left for Envision. This is going to take some really nice picks from someone like Facility potentially to open up the point.
Even with that, Fusion University has literally every single ultimate available. So if they play this right, there's not a way for them to lose. Yes, Envision is very close to having that same situation for their attack, but Fusion University has the benefit of that nice spawn. They have the benefit of that first pick. They have the benefit of another kill. iShiny already using his supercharger. They have the blade ready for Who Are You. They haven't used anything, and they still won that last fight despite Envision using 2.
That is, at this point, going to be so disastrous for Envision. 20 seconds left. It's going to be a mad dash back towards that payload. As yes, they do have 3 ultimates to work with, but that's not quite going to be enough. 10 seconds left now. They need to make a run for it.
Zachary with the Pulse Bomb. They don't see him coming. There's over the top. You see the self-destruct that goes out just like the Pulse Bomb. Who Are You still having this blade? They're trying to get ready to stun him, but they already took out Bud, so Who Are You can freely pull this out. Was a Transcendence does go down. He's looking for his target, and there it is. It's the Mercy. He finds Fire. Now zooming over to Crimzo. We'll cut him up as well. However, on the point, McGravy's still alive. They're having Bud swap as well.
Ooh, they do secure the kill onto Kraken Lacken, but even though they have 3 members, make that 2 left on the point, it's not going to be enough. Primal Rage was used by Beast Halo. This should go in favor of Fusion University, but not before. We do see a little extra distance cover, so small advantage gain out of that in the end for Envision, but not quite what they were looking for. Unable to bring it to that second objective means that Fusion University now are looking poised to knock Envision out of the tournament.
Very much so. I mean, at this stage, only getting 1 point, not even making it through, you know, this second stage of the map. Hugely disappointing, I think, for Envision, any of their fans out there as well, but especially this team who now has to defend. I mean, you're talking about being what is 2 points away on a single map from being taken out of the tournament before even getting to 4th place, you know, something that I think they really expected for their performance and, you know, knowing what they're able to accomplish. But Fusion University bouncing back after a disappointing loss to Goats. You know, they everybody knows at this stage they felt very confident going into that match. Unfortunately, you know, when you underestimate an opponent, that can sometimes happen. So again, yes, bouncing back in a very big way. 2-1 up over Envision, looking like they might have another opportunity to take on their former adversary, Goats. If they're able to take this one on, they will have that chance, that opportunity. It'll be a good one to watch if they can get there, but Envision still standing in their way. I mentioned before, it's a massive hurdle, but Fusion University are right now at the end of that sprint. Only one hurdle left to go over, and it's their attack here. Can they get it done?
We'll see how they're going to be able to deal with the double sniper composition coming out of their opponents in Envision this time, as Huaryu is going to be sticking to that Genji, and I definitely like that. He's been insane on it after Ilios, of course. Now we'll look to contest that double sniper composition. We should have a relative easy time, as even Zachary going onto that Hanzo will scout out that opposition very early. Beast Halo though, it's gonna drop really low. Huaryu up onto the side, will dance around that particular pillar for now, managed to stay alive as he was discorded, instantly hunted out by the rest of Envision, but this might force him in a disadvantageous position overall.
Buzz just not nailing those shots. Oh, gets eliminated by Alarm, sneaking his way around the side. And with the flank, does force out that res, and Huaryu over the top as well on this Genji. Expect him to try to get as much blade charge as he can get with these strikes. Swift striking through the enemy as they're bunched up, and it's Alarm cleaning things up. Underneath, Earls has control of the pack as well. Huaryu diving through. He has blade ready. Alarm is at 73%. I mean, everything is going smoothly for Fusion University.
And with that, I mean, 5 minutes and 15 seconds, just an insane amount of time to work with. Yes, Buds does have that infra side. Will look to still contest the opposition, but this is where you definitely would have liked to see, again, that Brigitte. Yes, it didn't work out exceptional against this comp, but you gotta bring it out, right?
And they're gonna just freely push this with LOS for as long as they can, while they wait for Kraken Lacken to come back up from respawn, continuing to push this, and Beast Halo gets yanked back up by the Halt, trying to take sniper duels behind a barrier right now. Zachary sneaking his way around. Here's the blade already coming out.
It's gonna force that transcendence from the defensive side. Facility gonna go ahead and use that Dragon Strike too, so pushing the opposition away for it now. However, Alarm still having that transcendence of himself. The Dragon Strike coming in from Zachary too. We'll look for those targets. We'll secure one onto fire with Beast Halo on his tail. Oh, now only Crimson left alive. It's gonna be Beast Halo with a double kill, but it's gonna be the, or rather have to be the hero here for the defensive side, as we do see Facility also coming alive on that Hanzo. Oh, maybe finally saving them off as Buzz finds another kill, this time onto Alarm.
Oh, who are you? How? How are you able to get those? Buzz gets taken down. A little headshot to help secure that.
And he's back.
He is indeed back, but so is Buds. Beast Halo setting up, getting into position so that he can dive into that back line right on top of Crimzo. Crimzo with no way out, has to get the healing, and it's gonna be Huaryu diving through. Unfortunately for Fusion University, they are dying all over the place. It's cleanup. Envision, get it done, but still have 3.5 minutes to go.
But finding those sweet shots gonna really make things at the very least, or make them breathe a sigh of relief, rather, I guess, for Envision right now. As you said, 3 minutes and 70 seconds is so much time here. And Elk will make the transition over to the Lucio to make sure this dive is that much more aggressive, that much more lethal. The Dragon Strike is going to come through. Are you jumping really, really low? But if they can't secure any kills, things might still be favoring Fusion University.
Who are you? 87% towards the blade. Crimzo not close enough to the Transcendence. As who are you? I mean, I just said he was at 87%, but now he's pretty much already got it. Alarm with a nice first pick onto Buds, but Facility takes out Who Are You, takes out the blade with it, and now diving back onto it. Alarm with so much space has been finding these kills. Fire, Facility both out. Crimzo drops as well. There's no more healing left for Ice Shiny, who falls as well. McGravy trying to turn the fight around. He does kill off Alarm somehow.
Oh, he's just gonna look to stall this one out on top of the payload. Might be able to buy enough time for the rest of his team to find the regrip. The blade is gonna come out. Who are you? Out for blood, but instantly stunned. Was unable to do anything else. Looks to just push the opposition away, but the Dragon Strike coming back in. It's gonna be good Facility, finding the kill in the end. So maybe Fusion University a little too over-eager.
Oh, the Pulse Bomb went out. Didn't find anything either. And once again, Envision seems like they're gonna be able to hold this one out yet again. Coming back in, McGravy with a massive play on the Diva. A hero that this team needs right now. I mean, desperately needs right now. And Who Are You swapping off the Genji over to the Pharah. We'll have to see if Buds makes the swap himself as well. As right now, he's not going to be able to do too much on the Brigitte other than ward off Beast Halo and Kraken Lacking when they dive in. And he can help potentially protect Ice Shiny, but now we can't. Ice Shiny's dead.
I mean, the pick potential coming out of Fusion University is off the roof, as we will see another kill go through. Crimson, the one to fall to the self-destruct. Beast Halo finds one more, and yes, Who Are You did go down, but not for long, as it's going to be Fusion University charging forward, and this could be it.
1 minute, 15 seconds on the clock. They've got the kills. Ice Shiny coming back in. I don't know how much he's going to be able to do. He doesn't have the support. He doesn't have the Primal Rage. They're just a meter away here, Bruns. They're just that close, and somehow Fire stays alive. Can they get back on? No, they can't. Fusion University battling back, getting a 3-1 of their own, and Envision is out.
And it's just so unfortunate to see them go out so early, but Fusion University stepping it up in a big manner compared to their previous performance. As we've said, now that they've had a little bit more time to really adjust and come into their own. I mean, yes, we did see some absolutely insane performances out of Zachary and Who Are You, but it's also the whole team really coming together.